Um, I'll move on to a different subject again. This is on household financial savings. The data that was put out by the RBI in its FSR
Right.
shows that household financial liabilities are up from 3.8% in 22 to 5.8% in FY23, whereas financial assets are up only from 10.9 to 11.1%.
This is for 22-23.
22-23.
Yeah.
And financial savings is down to net financial savings is down to 5.1% from 11% the previous year.
Yeah.
What do these set of numbers convey to you? Do they show that Indians are becoming more consumerist? Or is it that savings is going down and people like to spend more? What is it?
No, actually, first of all, you're right about 5.1%. It is a accretion to the financial savings in 22-23. So the stock of financial assets that the Indian households have, or the net financial assets after liabilities are taken into consideration, continues to rise. What has happened is in 22-23, the pace of accretion to the net financial assets of households slowed compared to the previous year's pace of 11 point some percent that you mentioned, 11.3. It came down to 5.1. It is not because Indians are consuming more. It is because they are also acquiring more real assets in the process. So the diversion of financial savings went into real assets.
Physical assets.
Physical assets.
But is there data to corroborate that?
Yes. You can see that from the second half of 2021 onwards, the pickup in residential real estate loans has been much stronger. And therefore, it is a portfolio reallocation, a portfolio shift that seems to have happened, wherein real asset accumulation happened at the expense of financial asset accumulation in 22-23. But has it therefore reduced the overall amount of financial savings available to the economy? Because after all, it is usually the households that provide the savings to the other sectors, government, private, non-financial, etc. But the good news or encouraging news there is that this consumption did not spill outside the economy. Otherwise, you would have seen that in the rising current account deficit. The private financial sector actually made more profits. And the non-financial corporate sector also, if you look at the RBI data, the same RBI data that you were pointing out, the net financial surplus of the non-financial corporate sector actually became positive in the last 3 years, including in 22-23. So in a way, what I'm trying to say is, from the households, it became the savings of non-financial corporation. The profitability of Indian corporate sector actually went up, and their financial surplus increased. In fact, compared to the second decade, in the last 3 years, 2021, 22 and 22-23, the net financial surplus of the non-financial corporate sector has been positive, which was not the case in the previous 7 to 8 years. So in that sense, it just got reallocated between the household sector and the private corporate sector. And that is therefore, the overall savings available in the economy did not leak outside the country. But I agree with you that this is an area that we have to wait and see what the 23-24 data say. So I wouldn't read too much into 1 year's data and the reduced flow to indicate that there is some concern and the economy is therefore not saving enough for investment purposes. If that is the case, then our current account deficit will rise and external dependence increases. All those factors will come into play. But I think last year's data was an important one to keep track of, but I wouldn't overread into it.
Is that an inflection point?
I really doubt if it is an inflection point that Indian households are going to save less in financial terms. If anything, with financial inclusion and more options available and the spread of equity culture in retail areas, hopefully they do more long-term investments. I think it is too premature to say that it is an inflection point.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't have enough data points to say it's an inflection point.